The fluorescent light above me buzzed faintly, its hum slicing through the stillness like a cruel reminder that I was alone. The smell of my own blood hung in the air, sharp, metallic, and unshakable. The nurse had just tied the last knot in the stitches across my forehead when I reached for my phone. My fingers trembled, not from the pain, but from the hollow absence of her concern. No missed calls. No messages. No "Are you okay?" I dialed anyway. She answered on the third ring. "Hey," I said, my voice low and even. "Hey babe. What's up?" There was laughter in the background, the clink of glassware. "I'm at the ER. Car accident. I need you to come get me." A pause. Just one breath's worth of silence. Then, "Sorry, I'm at lunch with Ryan. Can't just leave. Can you call an Uber or something?" Ryan. Her best friend. The one I never liked but never openly challenged. "Okay," I said. And hung up. The nurse asked if I wanted to rest for a while. I told her no. I stepped out into the cold instead, the fresh stitches tugging with every movement. The wind stung my face, but all I felt was the weight of her words. "Can't just leave." No, it wasn't that she couldn't. It was that she wouldn't. When the Uber driver asked if I was okay, I lied. Yeah. But I gave him a different destination. Not home. An address I remembered from a calendar notification she'd once forgotten to delete. A small, dim restaurant downtown. One she had always dismissed as too expensive for us. I asked to be dropped off a block away and walked the rest. Through the front window, I saw her before I even stepped inside. She was laughing, leaning in close. Her hand rested on Ryan's. His thumb brushed slow circles over her skin. I stayed there, watching as she tucked her hair behind her ear. A tell I knew all too well. Nerves. I didn't walk in. I didn't confront her. Not yet. The accident had given me something unexpected. An excuse for my silence. She thought my distance was trauma. In truth, it was strategy. I began small. Quietly. Phone bills. Shared location logs. Screenshots. Her excuses were fragile things. Half-truths disguised as casual updates. Out with friends shifted into working late, into helping Ryan with something. I didn't challenge her. I let the lies pile up. A favor from a friend at the precinct opened another door. I gave him her name. He gave me records, receipts, hotel check-ins, transactions. Her secrecy wasn't careful. It was lazy, shielded by my trust. But trust is not blindness. It's patience until you decide the game is over. The final nail came on a Tuesday. An envelope slid under my office door. Inside, photos. Her and Ryan. A hotel room. Images you can't explain away with just friends. I didn't call. Didn't text. I waited. That Friday she mentioned a business dinner. I asked where, pretending to care. She gave a name I forgot before she'd even finished saying it. When she left, I followed. 2 cars behind, headlights low. Same restaurant as the day of the accident. Same table. Same man. I walked straight in, stopped at their table. "Can we help you?" Ryan asked. Ignoring him, I reached into my coat and placed the envelope on the table. She froze, her hand hovering before pulling the flap open. When her eyes lifted to mine, I turned and left. I knew she'd follow. Rage and panic make people predictable. When she burst into the apartment, I was in the kitchen, drinking coffee. "You followed me?" she demanded. "No," I said. "I watched you." "It's not what it looks like." "It's exactly what it looks like." Her tears came fast, but they weren't from guilt. They were from fear. Fear of losing the control she thought she had over me. "You don't understand." "I understand perfectly." I slid a folder across the counter. Divorce papers. Signed. Dated. "You already?" "Yes." It wasn't shouting that broke her. It was the absence of it. The fact that I had already grieved her before she even knew she was gone. She pleaded, bargained, promised things I didn't want anymore. I let her talk. Silence makes people reveal more than questions ever will. When she finally ran out of words, I stood and grabbed my coat. "Where are you going?" she asked. "Anywhere you're not." The look on her face wasn't heartbreak. It was disbelief at her own irrelevance. She didn't know how to exist in my life without being the center of it. The door closed behind me, and I didn't look back. Because when you see the truth with that much clarity, you stop needing to.